I didn't disappear without a trace, I didn't get hit by a bus or fall off the edge of a cliff. It's true, I haven't been posting as much as I'd like to, especially on here, but I have been active on TikTok and Instagram. Wait. But back to the question. What happened? What happened to me? Where did I go? Well, nothing really happened. In 2022, life kind of just got in the way. My friends were busy, I was busy. I barely had the motivation to get into cosplay, let alone make content. But don't get me wrong, I was still getting into cosplay, and I managed to go to one convention where I made one of the cosplays I'm most proud of that year. But I didn't really get the motivation and courage to start coming back until, shockingly, I saw the Mario movie. I really wanted to cosplay Princess Peach, and my mind was running wild with ideas. And let me tell you, also having a group of friends that really want to do a group cosplay with you helps a ton. But why now? Why, after 3 years, have I decided to come back here? Well, if I'm being honest, I missed you. I missed reading your comments. I missed putting my heart and soul into a video for you to enjoy. I missed getting into cosplay every week. I missed my creativity. Above all, I missed interacting with all of you guys. Now, I wanted to make this video back in November, but for the life of me, I could not figure out what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just make another CMV and post it without addressing the fact that I've been missing for 3 years, or make a small 4-minute video saying, hey guys, I'm coming back to YouTube, but not show you how much cosplay progress I've made over the years. But then I thought, why not show you how much cosplay progress I've really made over all these years? But in order to do that, we have to rewind the clock back to 2013. Whoosh, cue cool effect that Jeanette will put in post. Yeah! The year was 2013. And 9-year-old me was free to explore the world without the fear of taxes, rising gas prices, and the food service industry. And at this impressionable age, a family friend would decide to invite my family to a Renaissance fair. Little did we know, it would send us down an inescapable spiral of fabrics, tangled up wigs, and tiaras. I actually only ever wore one tiara, but it sounded good for the bit, so. And my family and I have returned to that same Renaissance fair every year since. Renaissance fairs could be considered a gateway to the harder stuff. Conventions, I'm talking about conventions. So let's fast forward to 2017. Those in-between years, they don't matter. My first ever convention was Snake River Comic-Con. It was my first time ever going to a panel, seeing cosplayers in real life, going to a vendor hall. It was a dream. And on this journey, I was joined by Blue Martian, my best friend at the time. That first year, Snake River Comic-Con was split into 2 hotels and 1 event center, where I took a shuttle to each event. Each time I rode the shuttle, I got to have the most interesting conversations with the most interesting people. People who were giant nerds just like me. The next year, the newly renamed Snake River Fandom Con saw my further attempts at cosplay. My friends and I also decided to compete in the cosplay contest as Frisk, Sans, and Papyrus from Undertale. But you can't guess who I was. Where we won the Funniest Cosplay Award! This one right here. It's gonna go right back here. right by my side. 2019 took my family and I to FanX in the spring. This was my first really big convention, and I knew I wanted to make something special for it. So I did my research, and I learned how to make Kirishima's armor from My Hero Academia. It was my first time ever making anything with EVA foam, and I'm still really proud of it. I also took this cosplay with me to Anime Oasis in the summer, where I also made Bakugo's armor for Blue Martian to wear. I plan to make a separate, more in-detail story time on Anime Oasis, but here are all the important bits. I went to my first rave, I competed in my second ever cosplay contest, an adult vendor sold me a collar and leash without my knowings of the implications of them. And I got to meet so many amazing cosplayers, some of which you may know as Presto Productions. The way I met Presto Productions was actually pretty funny, the funniest I've probably ever met another cosplayer. Blue Martian and I were out in the plaza taking photos as Bakugo and Kirishima when we heard screaming. We looked up to see another Bakugo and Kirishima cosplayer running full speed ahead towards us, Ida style. No sign of slowing down, no sign of stopping, collision imminent. So we stopped and took photos with them, and over the weekend we became pretty close friends. So close, in fact, that in the fall, Presto, Icy Sky C, and I went to Anime Bonsai, where I met Constantly Confused Angel, or Angel for short. And they quite literally got on their knees and proposed their friendship to me, which I accepted. That same night at Anime Bonsai came the cosplay prom, where I ripped my suit pants while busting it down. Luckily, it was dark enough in the room, no one could see the rip, but by the time we got back to the hotel, my pants were more whole than cloth. The next day, my fellow cosplayers went to the cosplay rave, but because Utah is Utah, I wasn't allowed to go because I was labeled as too young. Well, I'm not too young anymore, so Utah, I'm coming for you. The last day, Presto had to leave early, so Icy Sky C and I decided to stay behind and hang out with Angel, which I don't regret. I spent very fun times with those two. 2019 was like a dream. I would not trade it for the world. I have so many great memories, and I'll never forget it. Because then 2020 happened, and I don't think I have to describe what 2020 was like for you guys. No social life except at work, which I wouldn't really label as social because, yeah. But, there was plenty of time to make and post TikToks and come up with great CMV ideas, and my friends and I were able to film safely so we could post it for you guys. Safely. 2021 was practically the same, except less COVID, but not a lot of conventions wanted to open their doors just quite yet. But I was able to make it to FanX in the fall, where I finally convinced my parents to join me in my cosplay spiral. My mom joining me as Inko Midoriya to my Mitsuki Bakugo, and my dad fulfilling my dream that he is Hagrid from Harry Potter. I mean, look at this man. He's Hagrid. He probably played in the movies, and he's just keeping it from me. I know your secret, Dad. In 2022, I became a manager at my job while also participating as a manager at the Renaissance Fair I was working at. Between both occupations, my creativity and time were spread thin. I did manage to make it to Anime Oasis in the summer, which was like a flashback to 2019. After that, my friends and I decided to conquer our biggest cosplay plan yet, the Evolutions. I had never attempted anything this big. It was my first time making my own patterns, making full body EVA foam armor and weaponry, working with faux fur and sewing. I had never made an entire cosplay from scratch. It's one of my favorites. In 2023, I changed jobs, and my stress level dropped immensely. But trying to reignite my creative spark was proving harder than I expected. But then I saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie in theaters with my friends, and I knew I needed to cosplay Princess Peach. So I saved up my meager food service funds for the peachiest ball gown of my dreams. But it would take months to finish. In the meantime, a new fandom con would rev up my inspiration. My family, friends, and I eagerly attended Retro X, where I met a new friend, G.I. Joe and Stilettos. Over the summer, I participated in the same Renaissance fair as before, but not as a manager, which gave me plenty of time to work on my cosplays for the upcoming FanX. I had 3 cosplays to get done in just a few months. I crafted my Princess Peach crown and styled her wig just in time for my beautiful ball gown to arrive from Molly and Guyan Design on Instagram. But I wasn't done. Oh no. My friends and I wanted to do FNAF cosplays, and who better than the Glamrocks? I wanted to cosplay from Five Nights at Freddy's since I was a wee little nugget, and that was before I knew what cosplay was. I chose Glamrock Freddy. And finally, I made Blitzo from Hell of a Boss. At Missile Kid made his rifle for me while I gathered, made, and modified his outfit. And then came the convention. On day 1, I was Princess Peach, and my friends and my mom were my toads. We were given a golden ticket by Susan, I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong, so here's her @ on Instagram, a photographer who travels from convention to convention in every single state to capture photos of cosplayers. Isn't that so cool? That night, we also attended the Scream Spotlight, and as actor Matthew Lillard was walking through the crowd, our toadette caught his attention. He came over, said we looked fantastic, and then asked us for a photo with his personal camera. Confidence. Ego. It was amazing. On day 2, we cosplayed the Glamrocks. My wonderful friends Blue Martian, Missile Kid, Little Pally, and G.I. Joe and Stilettos cosplayed Monty, Roxy, Chica, and Bonnie. And I cosplayed Glamrock Freddy. Our number 1 mission that day was to get something signed by Matthew Lillard. So as soon as we met up, we ran over to Artist Alley, got some merch, and got in line. While in line, Matthew Lillard noticed our cosplays again, said that we were fantastic, and told us we could get a free photo. So not only did we get autographs from Matthew Lillard, not only did we get complimented 2 days in a row by Matthew Lillard, but we got a free photo with Matthew Lillard because he thought we were amazing. He was also amazing. I love him so much. If you don't know who he is, why? Matthew Lillard is immaculate and a gorgeous angel of a man. So on day 3, FanX saw a IMP Invasion straight from hell. My Blitzo was accompanied by Missile Kid's Moxie and Little Pally's Millie. We didn't cause any murder. Plenty of mayhem. It was our shopping day, so, you know. But it was so much fun. And with that, FanX was finished. And the rest of the year was just as amazing. I got to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie in theaters with my Faz gang after waiting 8 years for it. Still giddy about it. And I started brainstorming cosplay ideas and content for you. And with that, 2023 was a wrap. As for 2024, my creative engines are fired up and ready to go. I have so many amazing ideas that I cannot wait to share with you. And now I'd like to thank some of the friends that have been along with me on this journey. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys. I'm going to have all their socials linked in the description. They deserve all your support. And of course, I would like to thank you guys. I wouldn't be here without you. And I want all of you to join me on the rest of this journey. Thank you. And if you'd like to support me, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Cositsmarie. You can also buy me a coffee on Ko-fi, or just liking, subscribing, sharing this video with your cousin, or commenting just helps me a bunch too. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye!
Look at the baby bean. Hold on, let's get that baby bean in focus. Oh yes, the baby.